Have you ever stopped to consider the sheer magnitude of materials that support our daily lives? Every click, every journey, every moment surrounded by modern comforts depends on a complex network of resources extracted from the earth. In Material World, Ed Conway takes us behind the scenes of our material dependencies, inviting us to see beyond what we own and use and to consider the true cost and impact of these everyday items. This isn't just a book about minerals or metals. It's a wake-up call to reimagine how we live, innovate, and grow sustainably. The insights here carry value because they challenge us to think differently about what sustains our world. And in that challenge lies the seed of transformation. In our world of rapid technological advancement, it's easy to overlook the raw materials behind our devices and structures. Lithium for our phones, copper for our wiring, silicon for our computers. Each of these elements is finite, extracted from regions with unique political, environmental, and economic challenges. Take lithium, for example, essential for the batteries in our electric cars and smartphones. It promises a greener future, yet its extraction is far from environmentally friendly. For every ton mined, considerable energy and water are used, often in areas already experiencing water scarcity. Material World pushes us to confront these hidden truths, reminding us that green doesn't always mean clean, a myth many of us might have accepted uncritically. Conway's call for introspection is a call for unlearning the idea that innovation is inherently harmless or universally beneficial. We're often drawn to the narrative that technology and industrial growth are unquestionably positive forces. But Material World argues that sustainable growth requires recognizing that resources are limited, and unchecked growth can be detrimental. What would it mean for us to let go of the notion that progress is infinite? Conway suggests that by unlearning the assumption of endless material wealth, we can begin to appreciate the value of what we consume, and reduce, reuse, and reimagine how we meet our needs. Consider this. In the near future, renewable energy sources like wind turbines and solar panels will require massive amounts of rare metals and minerals. The push for greener solutions may inadvertently lead to a new wave of mining operations, often in developing regions, affecting local communities and ecosystems. This shift calls for a more mindful approach, especially for those in business or positions of influence. Imagine if companies adopted a more circular economy model, designing products that are not only energy efficient, but also built to be repurposed or recycled. This isn't just a hypothetical. It's a practical framework for sustainable growth that many forward-thinking companies are already exploring. As business owners, entrepreneurs, and strategic thinkers, this book gives us a blueprint for embracing a mindset shift, a perspective that can fuel sustainable success. One actionable takeaway for those in leadership is to integrate material stewardship into corporate responsibility. For instance, tech companies can begin by assessing their supply chains, identifying which resources are at risk, and exploring ways to diversify or reduce dependency on scarce materials. By doing so, businesses can future-proof themselves against resource scarcity while positioning themselves as leaders in sustainability. The world is moving in this direction, and businesses that adapt early will reap the rewards, both financially and reputationally. For viewers considering how this book might shift their own lives, the answer lies in our daily choices. What if, instead of always opting for new products, we prioritize those designed for durability or made with recycled materials? The consumer market has the power to signal demand for more responsible products. Perhaps the next time you're in the market for a new phone or appliance, you might choose a model with a longer lifespan or reparable parts. Such choices not only reduce demand for raw materials, but also support companies that prioritize sustainability. This is the beginning of transforming our perspective on consumption, not just as an individual decision, but as a collective shift that drives change in manufacturing and resource management. Conway's exploration debunks another pervasive myth: the belief that because we're advancing technologically, we're automatically becoming more sustainable. Instead, Material World reveals the uncomfortable truth that our reliance on technology often heightens our material dependency. Consider, for instance, the solar panels and electric cars we associate with clean energy. They rely on rare earth metals and intensive mining, revealing an ecological footprint that's not so clean after all. This book asks us to redefine what sustainable progress means, challenging us to make conscious, informed choices that reflect a broader, more grounded understanding of sustainability. So, what's next for those who read Material World? First, it's about letting go of passive consumerism and adopting a mindset of material stewardship. Imagine viewing each product in your life as a series of resources borrowed from the earth, only to be given back in a different form. Conway's call to action is a vision of transformative consumption, where every purchase is seen through the lens of its life cycle, from extraction to eventual disposal or reuse. This doesn't mean avoiding progress or shunning technology, but choosing to engage with them thoughtfully. Finally, this book encourages a shift in perspective that, once adopted, becomes difficult to ignore. By understanding the interconnectedness of our world's resources, we gain a newfound appreciation for the material foundation of our lives. This knowledge empowers us to make choices that honor both our progress and our planet's limits, fostering a sustainable future that respects the resources that make it possible. Imagine a world where each one of us takes this message to heart, where leaders build resilient supply chains, consumers demand ethical products, and communities thrive in harmony with the land they occupy. Material World offers us not only insights but a vision of what could be, a world that values sustainability, respects limits, and finds balance within the very materials that sustain it. Thank you for joining us on this exploration. If you're inspired by the ideas shared today, let's continue this journey together. Like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts below. And remember, let's keep books over mind and ideas over consumption.